Well, happy Wednesday and welcome to a psalm and a song here in July of 2025. My goodness, we're halfway through the year. How about that? Doesn't time just fly by? My goodness. I hope this Wednesday finds you well and maybe not as hot as you have been. I hope so. So our psalm tonight is a prayer for wisdom and forgiveness is how it is titled, Psalm 39. I'm going to do the first half. I said, I will guard my ways that I may not sin with my tongue. I will keep a muzzle on my mouth as long as the wicked are in my presence. I was silent and still. I held my peace to no avail. My distress grew worse. My heart became hot within me. While I mused, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. Lord, let me know my end. And what is the measure of my days? Let me know how fleeting my life is. You have made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing in your sight. Surely everyone stands as a mere breath. The first half of Psalm 39. How you doing on this Wednesday? I've had a lot of things on my mind and my heart this week, and I bet you're exactly the same way. Among the things I've been thinking about is this is the run up to, in our tradition, the United Church of Christ has its General Synod. That moves around every 2 years, and that is this year in Kansas City. And so it's a whole lot of UCC folk that all come together and help to decide the direction of the national church, which is an interesting endeavor. To get a lot of people in the room to move the same direction is is a difficult thing to do, and our church is no different than most others. So I pray for good discernment for those folks as my social media feed is filled up with a lot of my friends and colleagues that are out there in Kansas City and beginning to make some important decisions. Actually, that's coming in a week. But I've also been struck this week. Sometimes it just happens to have opportunities to sit down with people and, share their story, to hear their story, to be a part of their story, I suppose, in a way. And I am blown away by the depth and the resilience and the goodness of these people's stories. Only to recognize that everybody has these. Everybody has these stories. Everybody. You think that your story is boring and insignificant. I know that that's true. I know that you believe that with your whole heart, that nobody would be interested in your story, that it doesn't hold a cup of water against an ocean. And yet I'm here to tell you that your story is as profound as any story in the Bible. Any story in the Bible, your story is profound and moving. The things that you have witnessed, the things that you have survived, the things that you have done or left undone, the grief, the loss, the tragedies, the joys, the happinesses, the successes. My gosh, it staggers the mind. And then what is truly staggering is if you walk into the grocery store on a crowded Saturday and you look around and you realize that every single one of those people who look slightly irritated and late for something, each one of them carries that kind of story. And if they would just slow down and stop and gave you the opportunity, they would share that story with you. I do believe that. I believe that we love to be known. We would love for people to know our stories, to know the depths of our life, to bear witness to the good and the bad, and some of those things that you cannot unhear. Terrible things that have happened in warfare and in marriages and in childhoods, and just terrible things that have happened that are told with the matter-of-factness of ordering a cup of tea. And they do that and they go on because it's just their story and they don't think much of it. And there you are, if you've really been listening, there you are just staggered in the moment, sitting with that. Having just been given this imagery, this story, this amazing gift or curse, depending upon how you see it, that you are now witness to. Now, I admit that I get more than my share, I suppose, because of my job title as pastor. But I know that people share these with each other if they're just listening. This is nothing that needs to have a pastor to hear your story. It is enough to just be heard by someone who cares for you, someone who recognizes your existence. So that's what's been on my heart this week, are the depth and breadth of people's stories, of your stories, of the stories that you have shared with me and with each other. It's amazingly powerful and so important to do. And so I encourage you this day to value your story, to recognize that it has great importance and deserves to be shared. And so I hope that you will share it with the world, at least with someone that you care about, so that you too can be known in a better way. Of course, some of our stories are embarrassing. Some of our stories don't paint us in the best of lights. Some of our stories tell truths that we wish weren't true. And it's not just my story, is it? But that doesn't lessen the goodness in sharing it and telling it, because there is goodness in sharing it and telling it. There's goodness in that release. There's real goodness in being known. So I hope that's what you value along with me this week. So let's do that song that we know kind of well. Lord, listen to your children praying. Lord, listen to your children pray. Lord, send your spirit in this place. Lord, listen to your children pray. Send us love, send us power, send us grace. Lord, listen to your children pray. Lord, send your spirit in this place. Lord, listen to your children praying. Send us power, send us power, send us grace. Much love, dear friends. Hope you have a good week. I am going to go for a family reunion next week, so I will be gone. We will pick up in 2 weeks, Psalm and a Song, and then it is time for Vacation Bible School here at St. Mark's. So if you are in the New Albany area, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 15th, 16th, and 17th, we will be having VBS, and you are welcome, and kids are welcome, and it's going to be a good time. So hope to see you then. Bye, y'all.